My name is Penny Mites. I teach at St. John's School in Houston, Texas. St. John's is a K through 12 independent school with a rigorous academic program and a highly competitive admissions system. This is the third year I have used Bornoff in the classroom. Especially for St. John's, which is so highly competitive, the Bornoff Approach has given the students a broader view of their instrument and of the possibilities from the very beginning. I think the Bornoff Approach has encouraged deeper level thinking about technique and about the potential from the very first lesson. There are several aspects of Bornoff that I have found especially helpful. The first of these is the open string cycle. I've used the open string cycle for all my classes. With the beginners, we start with the pizzicato and add bows right away. For the middle school and upper school ensembles, we use the open string cycle to check open string tuning before we even start rehearsal. Then, whenever there is a bowing that is a little complicated or a difficult rhythm, I will put that into an open string cycle to help build muscle memory or just basic coordination for bowings and rhythms. Another aspect of Bornoff that I found helpful is the approach to using the bow. From the very start, the beginners use their bows, and they use their whole bows. And as you can imagine, it's pretty messy at the beginning, getting kids who are barely learning to hold their bow to use the whole bow from frog to tip. But the Bornoff Approach has built in ways to continue refining. It's a process. And so as we work through and continue to learn on our instruments, the kids gain control and finesse with their bows. Another Bornoff approach that I use daily is their approach to finger patterns. With the beginners, from the start, we use major and minor finger patterns. In a traditional method book, the students tend to use F sharp and C sharp from the beginning. A traditional method book for beginners will concentrate on the D and the A string, and by the time you get to low second finger or the G and C and E strings, the students are so immersed in the D and A and playing F sharp and C sharp that many of them struggle with adapting and changing. So from the beginning, with Bornoff using low twos or second finger for cellos and basses, high twos, third finger cello, fourth finger basses, I think the Bornoff approach has cultivated flexibility. It also, that by turn, will help to grow their listening skills. I was surprised to the degree that the Bornoff approach impacted interest and involvement, particularly with my beginners in the early stages. Again, referring to a traditional method book that moves more slowly and has less flexibility, with Bornoff, if I have some students who have catching on really fast, I can adapt things very easily for them. Or the flip side of that, if I have a student or students who are struggling with some aspect of it, I can adapt to that without pulling the whole class back. I've attended 3 Bornoff workshops. The first 2 were face-to-face. They were live, and they were great. Last summer, I went to a Zoom workshop. I was a little apprehensive about how helpful that would be. One of the fringe benefits that has nothing to do with Bornoff, but one thing that helped me a lot, I got to experience a Zoom lesson from the student standpoint. My school hadn't yet started doing remote teaching, and that was really helpful in the fall when I began teaching online, having gone through a class as a student on Zoom. One of the things that attending multiple Bornoff workshops that has been really helpful for me, it has built a deeper understanding of the Bornoff philosophy, and I've been able to build on my own knowledge of Bornoff and continue to add it to my classes, both adding new aspects to the beginners and adding more in-depth things to my more advanced ensembles at both the middle school and the upper school level. I highly recommend Bornoff. It has breathed new life into my teaching, and I am in my 46th year of teaching in the classroom. So this has given me just a new outlook. It's been really great for me. Thank you.